And for the record, sporting bodies have consistently failed the world. It's not just in China. They let oppressive regimes host major events. They let dictators organize the Olympics. They put money over human rights. I can give you many examples, like Qatar. They're all set to host the 2022 FIFA World Cup. It's a massive honor for any country. In 2018, the FIFA World Cup final was watched by 3.6 billion people. That's around half of the entire world. What has Qatar done to deserve this honor? I have a list. Forced labor of migrant workers, death penalty for same-sex relations and blasphemy, flogging for alcohol consumption, a ban on all political parties, the guardianship system for women, and major restrictions on freedom of expression. This is what Qatar has achieved. This is Qatar's track record. Not much better than North Korea. But you will never see a FIFA World Cup in Pyongyang. Do you know why? Because Qatar has oil. It has money. That's something North Korea does not have. And that's all these sporting bodies seem to care about, minting money. FIFA is expected to make $3 billion from the 2022 World Cup. Qatar is expecting a $20 billion boost. No wonder they're silent, both of them. But the international community cannot afford to be silent. Sport is supposed to be a great unifier. It is supposed to uplift people. Instead, it is being sacrificed for an image makeover. Qatar should have never been awarded the World Cup. It should never have been on the short list. So what exactly was FIFA thinking? Apparently, the plan was to take football to new frontiers. No Arab nation has ever hosted the World Cup, so FIFA wanted to break that trend. But at what cost? Reports say Qatar employed a spy to keep tabs on rival bidders. Imagine that. All the talk about sportsmanship, about fair play, and this is how Qatar won the hosting rights, by spying on the other bidders. And this is just one example of sports washing. There are many more, like Saudi Arabia. All that oil money had to go somewhere. Well, it's going to the English Premier League. A Saudi consortium has taken over Newcastle United. The fans are not happy about this, but the British government did nothing. Petrodollars can be very appealing, you see. Same thing in Formula One. Earlier this year, there was a Grand Prix in Qatar. This weekend, they're racing in Saudi Arabia. It is the first Formula One race in this kingdom. Even the drivers are not happy about it. This is how Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton described being in Jeddah. He said, "Do I feel comfortable here? I wouldn't say I do, but it's not my choice to be here. The sport has taken the choice to be here." Remember, this is the most successful Formula One driver in history, the most marketable driver on earth. And he is not happy, but the sport doesn't care. So all this talk about putting athletes first is hogwash. When the checkbooks open, athletes take a back seat. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Countries like Qatar and China know their position. They don't have diplomatic credibility. They're not top holiday destinations. So how do they stay in public discourse? By injecting themselves into such events. Take the Winter Olympics in Beijing next year. Most of you may oppose the Chinese regime, but you may love the Winter Games. So what do? Boycott your favorite event or watch a genocidal regime host it. And this confusion is what countries want, this division. Sports washing makes you forget a country's crimes, their human rights abuses. Instead, you see the wonderful opening ceremonies, you see hundreds of athletes enjoying themselves. As viewers, we cannot make a difference here, but the sporting bodies can. So can the sponsors and governments. Look at what the WTA did in China. They sacrificed $1 billion to stand up for one athlete. So it's not impossible. It can be done. It should be done. It's a question of intent. If sports is a function of humanity, then human rights are non-negotiable. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.